Hi, welcome to the Sheetly Studio channel. In this video, I'm going to walk you through how to use the all-in-one project manager. And for this tutorial, I'll be using the Google Sheets version. Over here on the left menu, you can switch between tabs just by clicking them. For example, let's say I want to go to the overall dashboard. And as you can see, it automatically takes you straight to the overall dashboard. Okay, let's go back to the Setup tab. Okay, so on the Setup tab, the first thing you need to do is enter the names of your project or task assignees in the Assignee column. And for the Team category column, fill this in with your project team. Next up is the holiday list. You need to list your holidays in the Date column. For example, to set my holiday list, I can just double-click on the cell and pick the holiday date. And then, enter the description for your holiday in the description column. Just a quick heads up. The holiday list and working days settings will affect your Gantt chart format. So, you can choose your working days simply by checking these boxes. Now, let's move on to the status column. On the left side, feel free to use any emoji you like for your status, and on the right side is for the description. You can fully customize these however you want. I've already provided a default set here, just to save you the hassle of searching for emojis yourself. Now let's go to the Kanban stage column. This is used to set up your Kanban board tab later on. You can name these stages whatever you like to customize your board. In the currency column, you can adjust the symbol to match your specific currency. For example, I could change it to the euro sign. But for this tutorial, I'm going to stick with the dollar sign. And for this menu section on the left, you can hide it simply by clicking the minus icon up here. And if you want to open the menu section again, just click on this plus icon. All right, now let's move on to the Project Manager tab. Here, you'll want to list all your projects in this table. Go ahead and enter your project title in the project name column. Next, set the start date for your project in this column. To do this, just double-click the cell. Remember, if you're using the Excel version, you'll need to enter the date manually. Now, a very important note about the colored columns. Please do not delete or edit any of these cells. Doing so will break the formulas inside them. As for the assignee, priority, and other columns, feel free to adjust them however you need. Now look at this top section. It shows you all the key information for every project. So, you won't need to manually calculate anything. Alright, let's move on to the Project Budget tab. This is where you can calculate your project's budget and track actual expenses. Okay, first things first, you need to select your project right here. This is important because it updates the drop-down menu in the Task column to match the specific project you picked. And a crucial reminder about the colored columns and currency signs. Please do not edit or delete these. It will break the formulas. Now, let's take the labor section as an example. If I enter 3 for the hours and 30 for the hourly rate, you'll see that the total labor cost is automatically calculated. And here, you can see all your labor, materials, and fixed cost sections. Now, let's head over to the Expense Tracker section. This is where you track the actual costs for your tasks. But here's an important note. For your tasks to show up in the drop-down menu here, you must list them in the section on the left first. All right, let's do a quick example. I'll pick today's date and set the amount to, say, 100. And just like that, you'll see it automatically calculated in the Media Strategy Balance section. All right, let's go ahead and fill in the task as Media Strategy. You'll see that the actual balance column automatically updates. And a quick reminder for the Date column. If you're using the Excel version, you'll need to type the date manually. And this right here shows you the total progress based on the budget you set up earlier. And on this dashboard, you have the option to view either your total budget or the actual task expenses. All right, let's switch it back to the budget view. And this chart visualizes your total budget versus your actual project expenses. As you can see right here, this represents your total budget, and this is your actual expenses. Take a look at the total actual amount here. Now, I'm going to head back to the Project Manager tab to show you something. Look for the Summer Travel Bundle project. Now, go ahead and update the actual amount for this project to $29.60. Simply enter your revenue here, and the profit calculation will happen automatically. Alright, let's move on to the Variable Task tab. We're going to skip the dashboard at the top for a moment and jump straight to the table below. First, take a look at the Project column. This automatically pulls the drop-down data from your Project Manager. Next is the Phase column, which defines the phase for your tasks later in the Gantt Chart tab. You can add more details in the Description column. Then we have the Status column to update your task progress, the Priority column to set importance, and finally, the Assignee column for who's responsible. Use the Progress column to track your task completion. Then set your task start date in this column, and the end date right next to it. And the Days Left column is automatically calculated to help you stay on top of your deadlines. Over here, we have the Kanban Stage column. This helps you organize and move tasks around on your Kanban board. The important and urgent columns are what define the decision matrix for your tasks. For example, if I uncheck the important box, you'll see the decision automatically changes to delegate. And if I uncheck urgent as well, it switches to delete. And if only the important column is checked, the decision changes to schedule. Alright, now I'm going to check both important and urgent, again to set it back to the way it was. As you can see, tasks marked as done are automatically formatted like this. And if a task is overdue, meaning the due date has passed, it will automatically turn red. Now, check out this top left section. This is your project and task highlighter. For example, let's say I want to highlight the summer project. And just like that, the summer project gets highlighted. The cool part is that any incomplete task for this project will specifically show up in purple. Now, let's narrow it down to a specific task. When I select a task here, it will automatically highlight that task within the summer project. Check this out. This bar shows the total progress of everything you're working on. Plus, this dashboard gives you a quick visual summary of your tasks, grouped by who's doing them, assignee, how urgent they are, priority, their current status, and Kanban category. Alright, moving down to the table. Here you can filter by project, phase, task, or any other column. Let me show you an example. Say I want to filter only the completed tasks. I'll click this filter icon, select Clear, then check True, and finally click OK. And if you want to clear the filter, just click the filter icon again, check Select All, and then click OK. You can also apply multiple filters at once. For example, first I'll filter by project and select Summer. Next, I'll go to the Status column, click Clear, check Completed, and then click OK. Now I'll reset everything by clicking the filter icon, choosing Select All, and clicking OK. Alright, let's move over to the Recurring Tasks tab. As you can see, this table is where you manage all your repeating tasks. Let's run through an example. In the Project column, I'll select Summer Travel Project. Then for the task name, let's just call it Summer Travel Task. Next, in the Frequency column, you can choose how often this task repeats, whether it's every week, every 2 weeks, monthly, or any other option. Let's say I pick every week. Now, here's a crucial tip for the First Date column. You must set the date to either today or a future date. Never set it to a date before today. For example, since today is February 24th, do not enter any date earlier than the 24th. This is important because setting a past date will mess up the formulas in the Recurring Schedule tab, which I'll explain in a moment. As an example, I'll set the first date to today, and for the end date, let's make it March 31st. For the priority, you can choose whatever you like. I'll just go with medium. And for the assignee, I'll assign this to James. And for the decision matrix, let's say I just checked the important column. All right, moving on to the recurring schedule tab. As you can see, all your recurring tasks are listed right here in this table. And remember, for the colored columns or cells, please do not edit or delete them. Messing with these will break the formulas. As you can see, this is the format for tasks that are marked as done. And if a task is incomplete and overdue, meaning the deadline has passed, it will automatically turn red. And you can easily mark a task as complete just by ticking the checkbox. You'll see the format change automatically. I can also update the task status to complete, or any other option I prefer. Okay, let's scroll down and check the recurring task I added earlier. And here it is. This is the task name, and right next to it is the project name. Notice the date. It starts on the 24th and repeats every week, just like we set up. Now you can update the task status in the status column. For example, let me update the status for this task I haven't touched yet. All right, let's talk about the new changes column. You should use this column whenever there's a change of plans for your task. Let's say the plan changed. I'll update the date to February 25th. Then I'll bump the priority up to very high and change the assignee. For the decision, notice it's currently set to delegate, but I'm going to switch it to schedule. Now look at this top section. This is where you can filter your entire recurring schedule. For example, let's say I only want to see incomplete tasks. I'll select that here, and it automatically filters the list for me. You can also use multiple filters at once. For instance, if I want to see incomplete tasks specifically in February, I just add the month filter. And just like that, the schedule automatically updates to match both criteria. And if you want to reset everything back to normal, simply click the filter icon again, check Select All, and hit OK. Finally, right at the top here, you have a complete dashboard with all the key information about your recurring tasks. And over on the top right, there's a crucial warning. Please do not edit or delete any colored columns or cells. All right, let's check out the Tasks Filter tab. Here, everything is fully automated with formulas. So please be careful. Do not edit or delete any cells in this tab, as it will break the calculations. Up at the top, you'll find a complete overview of all your variable and recurring tasks combined. The only thing you can do here is set the date range filter. You can choose the start date and end date to filter your tasks within a specific period. Over on the right, you can monitor the progress of all your tasks. And for example, I'll set the start date filter to today. As you can see, the table automatically updates. Now it only shows tasks starting from today onwards. Now, let's set the end date filter to February 25th. As you can see, the table automatically updates to show only the tasks that fall within this specific range, from today until February 25th. And here's a huge time saver. You don't need to waste time scrolling endlessly to find a specific task. Simply click on the task name, then click the referring link that pops up. This will instantly take you straight to the exact location of that task. You might notice something interesting. On the Tasks Filter tab, the due date showed February 25th, but here on the original list, it still says February 24th. This is because the filter reflects the updated date I entered in the New Changes column earlier. Now, if you finish this task, just go ahead and update the status. Tick the checkbox and mark it as completed. Back on the Tasks Filter tab, you can see the task format has updated here as well. Now you can filter by any column in this table. To demonstrate this, let me first extend the date range filter to March 31st. Now let's filter by the project column. I'll click the filter icon, hit Clear, then select Summer Travel, and finally click OK. And there you go. The table automatically filters to show only that project. Next, let's narrow it down further by filtering the assignee column. I'll select James Miller. Now, the table automatically shows tasks that match both criteria. The summer travel project assigned specifically to James Miller. And if you want to reset everything back to normal, simply click the filter icon again, check Select All, and hit OK. And finally, you can clear the date range filter to see all your tasks again. Let's say you spot an overdue task here and want to update it. Simply click on the task name and use the referring link. It will take you straight to the exact cell for that task. Now, I'll mark it as done. When we head back to the Tasks Filter tab, you'll see the format has automatically updated. Alright, let's jump into the Decision Matrix tab. Important note, everything in this tab is fully automated with formulas. The only exception, and the only place you need to touch, is the filter setup right here in the top left corner. As you can see, the tasks listed in the pink table represent all your tasks. Then, over here, we have the decisions broken down by color. The green column is for Due Now. The blue column is for Schedule. The orange column is for Delegate. And finally, this purple column is for tasks you should delete. Oh, you can also use the date range filter right here. For example, let's set the start date to February 1st and the end date to February 28th. And there you have it. This shows all your tasks scheduled between February 1st and February 28th. You can also filter to show only completed tasks. Just select Done, and the matrix will automatically update to display your finished tasks. On the flip side, you can also filter to see only the tasks that are still pending. Alright, let's reset the filter back to all. You can also filter by project. For example, I'll select Summer Travel, and automatically, the matrix updates to show only the tasks for the Summer Travel project. Here's the task I set up in the Recurring Tasks tab earlier. And for Overdue Task, it will automatically turn red. Now take a look at the dashboard at the top. Think of this as a mini visualization of your progress for each decision category. The colors here match the sections below perfectly. Green for Due Now, blue for Schedule, and so on. This means you can check your progress at a glance without having to scroll down every time. And finally, over in the top right corner, you'll find the overall progress bar for all your tasks combined. If you need to update a task, it's super simple. Just click the task cell, then click the referring link that appears. This will take you directly to the exact cell you need to edit. For example, I'll mark this task as done and change the status to completed. Now, let's head back to the Decision Matrix tab to see the update. As you can see, the task format has automatically updated here as well. And this applies everywhere, whether it's in the Due Now, Schedule, Delegate, or Delete columns. Remember, you can always click any task in these colored tables to use the referring link and jump straight to the source. Alright, let's move over to the Kanban Board tab. Just like the other views, everything here is formatted automatically. The only part you need to manually adjust is the filter setup on the left. This filter section allows you to customize exactly what data shows up on your board. For example, let's filter to show only done tasks. See that? The board instantly updates to display only the completed tasks. Now, if I switch it to show only undone tasks, it automatically filters for everything that's still pending. Let's switch the filter back to show all. Now check this out. You can also choose how to sort your tasks. You have options like progress, start date, and due date. For example, let's sort by progress and set the order to descending. Automatically, the board rearranges the tasks from the highest progress down to the lowest. Now let's try sorting by end date and set the order to ascending. Notice how the board goes back to its original layout? That's because this is the default sorting format we started with. Plus, you can filter by project. Let's say I pick summer travel. You'll see the Kanban board automatically updates to show tasks for just that project. And here, you can filter based on the category. All right, I'm going to remove the filter we used before. You can also filter by due date range right here. Let's say you only want to see tasks starting from today until February 28th. Just set the dates, and the Kanban board will automatically update itself. Now, let's say you need to update a task. It's super simple. Just click Edit Task at the bottom of the card, then click the link that pops up. It'll take you straight to the exact cell. This way, you don't have to waste time scrolling and searching for your task manually. Let's say I mark this task as finished. I change the Kanban stage to Done. Now, when I head back to the Kanban board, you'll see the card has automatically moved to the Done column. All right, now let's move on to the Gantt Chart tab. Everything here is fully automated. You just need to select the project you want to see. For example, let's switch from the summer travel project to the abstract project. Just give it a second to load. And if you need to make edits, you can do it right from here. Just click on the project link, then click the link that pops up. It will instantly take you to the exact cell for that project. All right, let's head back to the Gantt Chart tab. I'm going to switch this back to the summer travel project. Just give it a moment to load again. As you can see in the Gantt phase section, it automatically updates to match the phases of the summer travel project tasks. And if I click on the Edit Project link here, it automatically takes you straight to the summer project cell. Let's get back to the Gantt Chart tab. In this phase section or project timeline, everything is already automated with formulas. So, the only thing you really need to change here is the color of your phases or timeline bars. Let's say I change this phase color to blue. The chart instantly updates to blue. If I switch it to pink, it turns pink. All right, let's set it back to purple. You can also change the color for individual tasks. For example, if I change this to orange, the timeline bar automatically becomes orange. And just so you know, the default color, if you don't pick one, is automatically set to pink. And if you want to edit a task without scrolling around to find it, just click on the task itself. Then, click the link that pops up, and it will take you straight to the exact cell for that task. Let's say I tick this checkbox. The status updates to completed, and automatically, you'll see the task get checked off in the phase list. Oops, I forgot to update the progress. Let's click the task again, change the progress to 100%, and head back to the Gantt chart. As you can see, the progress has automatically updated on this task. Over on the right, you'll see the project timeline for your tasks. And if you look at the legend up here, this line is the today marker, and this one shows your project deadline. And the starting date for this timeline automatically aligns with your project's start date, as you can see right here. Okay, let's switch over to the monthly calendar tab. This section is fully automated too. The only thing you need to do is adjust the daily calendar settings up here in the top left corner. You can set the year here. And for the month, let's say I switch it to March, and then maybe to April. All right, let's set it back to the current month, February. And for the start date, you can choose which day your week begins. For example, if I pick Monday, the calendar automatically updates to start on Monday. All right, let's set it back to Sunday. Right now, the calendar is showing all the due dates for your tasks. But you can also switch the view to see your project due dates instead. As you can see here, we have one project scheduled in February. Okay, now let's switch the calendar to March. Oh look, there are actually 3 projects due in March. All right, let's go back to February, and I'll switch the calendar view back to tasks as well. As you can see, the icon to the left of the task shows its current status. You can also filter the monthly calendar. For example, let's filter for just the summer project. Now, only the tasks for that specific project show up. You can also filter by status, Let's say I want to hide the completed tasks. So now, any task with a completed status won't show up on your monthly calendar. You can also customize the color format for your tasks. And if you look down here, you'll see the legend explaining what each color means. For example, pink indicates a very high priority task. Purple stands for medium, and yellow is for low priority. You can also switch the color format to be based on decision. As you can see, the tasks automatically update to match the legend here on the right. Green means do now, orange is for delegate, and so on. And again, you can edit tasks without having to scroll and search manually. Just click on the task, hit the link that pops up, and it takes you straight to the exact cell for that task. Okay, let's try this with another task, say this one right here. Click it. As you can see, this task is actually part of the recurring schedule, whereas the previous one was a variable task. So let's click the link, and it automatically takes you straight to the exact cell for this recurring task. All right, let's head over to the Weekly Calendar tab. Everything here is fully automated too. You just need to set your week start date right here. You can also choose whether to view tasks or projects. Plus, there's a show-only filter where you can switch between done and undone tasks. For example, if I select Done Tasks, the calendar automatically updates to show only the tasks you've completed. You can also use the filter options. For instance, let's filter specifically for the summer project. You can even exclude specific statuses. Let's say I want to hide tasks that are completed, and maybe even those that are published. Okay, let's clear all the filters and set everything back to default. Down here, you'll see the legend explaining the color codes for your tasks. You can choose to color code by priority or by decision. For example, if I switch to decision, the tasks automatically update to match the colors in the legend. Okay, let's jump back up to the week start date and set it to today. Important note, if you're using the Excel version, you'll need to type the date manually. And automatically, your week view will update to start from today. Right here, you can see the daily progress for all your tasks. At the very top section, you'll see the date range for your week, from the start date to the end date. Over on the right, this shows the total number of tasks for this week. As you can see, we have 13 tasks in total. And so far, only 4 tasks have been completed. If you look at the top right corner, you'll see a visual representation of your progress for the entire week. All right, let's move on to the Project Dashboard tab. Everything here is fully automated. You just need to select the project you want to display on the dashboard. Then, set up your calendar settings in this table here. And right below it, you'll see a dynamic calendar that shows you if there are any tasks scheduled for the month you've set. And just below the calendar, you'll find the color-coded key for everything. For example, let's stick with the summer travel project. At the very top here, you have all the financial information for this specific project. And yes, you can also edit your project easily. Just click Edit Project, and it'll take you straight to the exact cell you need. Let's say I tick the checkbox for the summer project. When I head back to the project dashboard, you'll see a checklist icon automatically appears. Okay, let's head back to the project. I'll uncheck the box, and then jump back to the project dashboard. Now let's play with the calendar setup. If I change this to March, you'll see this table updates to show tasks scheduled from March through the following month. And the table right above shows you any tasks that have a deadline today. Okay, let's go back to the calendar setup and change the month to April. Actually, let's switch it back to the current month. Now, take a look at the color bar on the left side of the task. This color automatically matches the priority level. You can cross-reference it with the priority dashboard on the right. Purple means medium, pink indicates very high, and so on. And down in the bottom right corner, you'll find the decision dashboard. This shows you the total tasks versus completed tasks for the summer project in February, broken down by decision type. Notice the Due Today section? That's the task I added earlier in the recurring task list. If I want to edit it, I just click, and boom, I'm at the exact cell. I'll tick the checkbox, change the status to Published, and then head back to the project dashboard. And automatically, the status updates to Published. Notice how the formatting changes? It'll look like this whenever a task is marked as completed. And over on the left, you can hide this section by clicking the minus icon at the top. To bring it back, just click the plus icon, and the menu section will pop up again. Okay, let's head to the Overall Dashboard tab. Like the others, everything here is fully automated. Just adjust the calendar setup to choose the year and month you want to view. Let's say I pick March. The dashboard instantly updates, following the color legend below. Now, if I switch it to April, you'll see all the tasks scheduled for April appear. Right here, these are your upcoming tasks for the month. And over on the left, you can see any projects due in April. Okay, let's bring it back to February. Notice the dynamic calendar? We have a few overdue tasks here, shown in the orange table. The blue tasks are listed right here in the blue section. Up in the top right, you'll see the total tasks for today. And right in the top center, this gives you a financial overview across all your projects. Back to the top right corner again. This box shows the total tasks due today. Right below it, you can see how many of today's tasks are completed. And this table lists the remaining tasks, the ones still not done for today. And remember, you can always edit a task instantly. Just click the task, hit the link, and it takes you straight to the exact cell. Alright, back to the overall dashboard. This table lists all the projects ending in February. Need to edit one? Just click the project name, and you're instantly taken to its exact cell. Let's say I check this box to mark it completed. Now let's head back to the dashboard. Notice the color bar on the left side of the project or task. This matches the priority colors shown in the dashboard above. For example, purple indicates a medium priority, yellow means low, and so on. Now let's look at the breakdown. This dashboard shows all tasks by assignee. Over here, you have the total tasks categorized by priority. Then we have the task status and task decision breakdowns. And finally, this chart visualizes the total count of tasks or projects due in February. So, that's a complete walkthrough of the all-in-one project manager. As you can see, this template automates all the heavy lifting, so you can focus on getting things done. If you want to download this template, the link is right there in the description below. Don't forget to like, comment if you have any questions, and subscribe for more productivity tips. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.